What's going on, everybody? We will be getting started shortly. I'm just currently sharing the link out onto my various social media sites. So I'm gonna leave y'all. I'm gonna put myself on mute right quick so y'all don't get any background noise. Hey, what's going on, everybody in the chat? I just had to share my link to these various accounts that I have. I'm connected through a lot of different places. What's going on, everybody in the chat? AV, the Great One, James Hudson, Craig J, Asiatic Black Man, Anthony, Gloria, James Hudson, Ashton Lewis. James Hudson, I've heard of the show All American, but I have not watched an episode, but I have heard that it is good. What's going on, the Enterprise? I'm just waiting for some more people to come in. Right now it says I have 31 people watching. How is the sound now? Vince, you said the sound was too low. How does it sound now? Yeah, I had my earbud plugged into my laptop. So what I did was I just plugged it into the outlet that's connected to my mic. Is this better? Hey, what's going on, Charles? All right, I'm gonna just go ahead and get started, and whoever comes in will come in. I don't want to have this thing just the whole beginning part just drag out like it has been doing, just waiting for people to come in. I don't know why. Sometimes those notifications go out and sometimes they do not. You know how YouTube is. But before I actually get started with the topic, my let me just tell y'all about something that happened at my job last night. So as many of you know that I actually work at the Capital One Arena, which is in Washington D.C., which is I guess you could say a sports entertainment arena. It's where the Wizards play at. It's where the Washington Capitals play at. But last night I worked the concert. I worked the Backstreet Boys concert. Hold on. Just typing something right quick because somebody wanted to know my email. First off, I didn't even know that they were still making music, but I guess. But it was two funny things that happened. Well, one funny thing and one that frustrated me, and it was more so to do with the guests rather than the actual concert itself. Um, One is, let me just say that it is so cringy watching Palm Colored Dance. Uh, because like we had to do something called a concourse hold, which basically means they were still doing a sound check, and they, you know how like when you go to concerts and they play music. Okay, now I'm seeing. I see Chaos 702 and Money Pro Music is saying my mic is low, but it's kind of crazy because I can't hear myself, or I can't hear what y'all hear on your end because I can only hear myself. If y'all hear that, that's me hitting on the mic to see if it's low. Like I don't know what it can. I don't know what it could possibly be. Yeah, if it sounds low, just put some headphones in or something because if I talk any louder, I'll be shouting, and I don't want to do that either. Because some people say they can hear me, and some people say that it's low. So it's hard for me to tell if it's low, if it's something wrong on my end or if it's something wrong on your end. Okay, so I was working a concert last night. And anyway, they had something called a concourse hold, and basically what that is whenever the band is doing a sound check, they can't let anybody in. So we had to hold the people there for a couple minutes. And you know how like in the like whenever they do a concert, they'll always play music or they'll have a DJ play music before the actual show begins. So they were playing like a lot of music like from the 90s and early 2000s or right around the era when they came out. The first song they played was that song by Britney Spears called Hit Me Baby One More Time. And all of us in the chat knows how that song goes. When I tell you, it was this one lady who was waiting, and she looked like this one white lady who was there, and she looked like she was probably maybe in her 40s. But you know, looks can be deceiving, especially when it comes to them. And when that song played, She was dancing all hard and everything, like the song was faster than what it is. Like it was so hard to like I had to like turn around just to keep from laughing in her face. Like that was very hard to hear. I mean, not hard to hear, hard to see, hard to witness. Like it looked like she was stomping on grapes. Like if y'all saw, y'all were like, oh my god, can you please stop? That was one thing. That was the cringeworthy part. Now the part that frustrated me was when when we was getting when having all the people come in and everything like that, and people were sitting down. You know, like all I do is I help people find where their seat locations are. So my section was 406, 407, and these two older white women came into my section, and I called them the Golden Girl Rejects because that's exactly what they look like. Came into my section, and on their ticket it says they were in section 405. Now, mind you, like I said, I'm in section 406, 407. I told them that you're in section 405 and that they have to go one or two more sections over depending on where the location of their seat was. They were so adamant that that they were in the right section, and they tried to tell me that they didn't want to like cross over in something like that. Whatever they told me didn't make any sense. And I kept telling them they had to go to the next one over, otherwise you will have to walk. Like you're gonna make this more difficult for yourself. But they were so adamant, and I didn't feel like talking to them anymore. So I just gave them their ticket back and said, just go up the stairs. That's what I told them. Just go up the stairs. I said it in the tone that kind of came off standoffish because they were getting on my nerves. And I had other people that I had to tend to that was behind them. So I was sending other people up where they were going. I look up at them go up the stairs, and these two dumbasses, these two dumb birds, walk across and realize that they were in the wrong section. So they had to cross over people anyway. And not only did they have to cross over people, they had to cross over two sections just to get to their spot. I said, that's what y'all dumbasses get. But besides that, everything else went good for the rest of the evening. But those two things right there, the cringeworthy moment and the frustrating part dealing with those two old geezers. Hey, Enterprise, they made it harder for themselves when they had to take that extra trip and had to cross over people anyway. Because like I said, they were trying to tell me that they didn't want to cross over anybody, but that's exactly what ended up happening. They had to end up crossing over people and cross two sections to do it because their seats were on a low end, so I already knew that they would have to cross over two sections just to get to their spot. Because I looked at them go up the steps, cross over people, and I looked at them and they kept on walking until they got to damn near the other side to the point where they were almost in the 404 section. But yeah, that was the. Hey, James Hudson, I did see that video, but I didn't get as much detail about it other than what I did see of it on online. You're right, Ashton. They do think that they know what they're doing. They think they know my job better than I do, and I've been in that job for 5.5 years. Like they must, like we must live in a world now where fives and sixes look and sound exactly the same. The only thing they have in common is the fact that they're right next door to each other. Six is above five, and five is below six. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the topic. I just wanted to start it off with that and just tell y'all how about those two things. I said when I do this live stream, I'm gonna make sure to tell my subscribers about those two little short stories, I guess you could say. But as you can see by the title, it says explaining the equal opportunity analyst terminology. That, as many of you know, is a terminology that I decided to come up with and decided to give myself as it pertains to the style of, not so much the style of videos, but the way that I choose to go at in when discussing topics, whether you may or may not have heard about it, or some to that effect. And I'm glad that I have this title, like I gave myself that title, because it allows me to be unbiased. And unfortunately, some people want me to have a very narrow like thinking when it comes to specific topics. And I'll give y'all some examples of ones that I did, but let me kind of break down what I mean when I say equal opportunity analyst. First off, everybody should know what equal opportunity means. That means that no matter who you are, it doesn't matter if you are young, old, black, white, straight, LGBT, whoever, I'm not going to be biased when it comes to various topics. And many people want me to be, like I said, very narrow minded when it comes to certain things, especially with one recent topic I just discussed. And I think many of you already know what that is. What basically, some people want me to have a hive mindset, meaning that I have to agree with whatever the rest of the hive thinks or agrees with, even if it is BS. And if I go against the hive, then the hive comes after me. Sort of like that movie Kill Bill. They when she decided to separate herself from the group, they ended up beating her within an inch of her life while she was pregnant, and she almost died when she got that gunshot to the head, only to find out years later she was in a coma, and then she came back and got her revenge. Of course, analyst is somebody who examines as much as everything as possible. They see everything for what it is instead of everything that's just on the surface. They choose to go deep with their information. That's why when it comes to certain topics, especially ones that I'm really invested in, I like to say, I'm going to keep my eye on this topic, and you'll get various updates as time goes on. As you know, some stories I have talked about well into last year, I still kept talking about well into this year until it came to a final resolution. And it's also a way so people can still uh, remember whatever it is that was talked about. Because we hear so many stories, or I get so many stories. Sometimes I'm amazed that I'm able to keep up with the ones that I really want to stay on top of, because I receive so many emails or tags on Twitter or DMs and everything like that. Like I get information all kinds of ways. Like if y'all was to see my inbox right now, y'all would be blown away. Like I have over 1,000 inbox messages, whether they have been read or not. Some of them I just straight up delete because I'm trying to keep the inbox clear, but it's hard to do because they just keep coming over and over and over again. And before I'm gonna put a couple people on on blast a little bit, not in a bad way, but in a good way. I actually do appreciate what they do, but it's two it's two people who are subscribed to me in particular who send me lots of emails. That, of course, is Caressa McKnight, who y'all see me shout out a lot on my channel, and Adrian Thomas. Now, I can't really cover a lot of Adrian's videos because a lot of his stuff are really heavily politically based. Hold on right quick, y'all. Sorry about that. Y'all had to take back. I had to take a phone call. But what I was saying was those two in particular send me a lot of emails. Like I said, I can't really cover a lot of Adrian's ones because a lot of them are politically based. But I know he sends me and Cerulean Gray a lot of the same emails, so I know whatever I don't talk about, whatever he sends me, I know Cerulean is gonna tackle it in his live stream. But shout out to those two because they like a good 80% of the emails that I receive are a combination from those two individuals right there. Richard, I wasn't gone that long. I probably wasn't even gone a minute. That's right, Poetic Kelp. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button when y'all come in if you haven't done so already. I know sometimes I can be uh, sometimes when I go into other people's live streams, and I just go straight to the chat room and forget to hit the like button. It's common, but make sure y'all do hit that like button. Because believe it or not, the like button is actually what helps pushes the video to be seen by more people. But yeah, the whole equal opportunity analyst thing, that is, like I said, that is a title that I gave myself. I usually don't like labels and titles, but that's one I given myself because I believe that's the realm that I fit myself into. And I'm glad that I have because it doesn't lock me into a box. So it's not like I'm stuck talking about one particular thing and that's all people expect me to talk about. Like I can cover an array of topics and cover and come at it at various different angles that some people never even thought of before. Like for instance, it's a video that I'm gonna upload tomorrow. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. It's gonna be about something that's already been discussed, but I'm gonna mention something in it that I don't think anybody else has said. At least I don't think so. I can't speak for anybody else because there are millions of people on YouTube have probably already talked about this topic already or made their own assessment. But as far as people that I know that I watch, no one else has said it. ANT, if the volume is low, put some earbuds or some headphones in. I don't know what's going on. Well, Elias Money Cerulean had to create a new channel because unfortunately his original channel got flagged. So he created a new channel under the same I believe under the same name. And like I said, hopefully me and Cerulean can collab again and do the 2020 budget uh discussion like we did for the 2019 one. Because that was a very good uh, collab that we did. We got a lot of good feedback. I actually learned a lot by doing that collab as well. But then again, I don't know how that's going to work because Google Hangouts is supposed to be going away soon. So I don't know what they're going to replace that with. By the time that happens, Google Hangouts will be a thing of the past. So I don't know what they're going to do as far as that is concerned. Yeah, I don't like I said, I don't know what's going on with the sound. For some reason, some people said they can hear it. Some people said that they can't. But I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, but back to what I was what I okay, when people say that the sound was awfully low, does it how low is it? Does it sound like I'm whispering or does it sound like I'm far away? Because I have the mic sitting right in front of my mouth right now. And I'm talking very clear. Like if y'all could see my face, like the mic is sitting right in front of me. Okay, Ashton said he can hear me. Some people said it sounds like I'm whispering. Someone, okay, Vin Lodge said, okay, it's work is different for different people. So some people can hear me well, some people can't. So I can only assume that maybe it might be something on your end. I don't know what it is. This is the first time this has happened since I've been doing this on Streamlabs. But we would just deal. We listen. We would just deal with it. That's something that's probably an internal error through YouTube. I don't know what else I could possibly say besides that. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, when it comes to the equal opportunity analyst thing, I come from a very unbiased approach, and I know that going into certain topics, I already know how some people are going to react, depending on whatever topic it is that I'm discussing, i.e., that most recent one I did about Kelly Rowland and her defending Chris Brown. I already knew going into that, and with what I said in that video, what people were going to respond with. But actually, shocked to my surprise, I had more comments that agreed with what I said. And that actually, believe it or not, shocked me. Because I was expecting a lot of pushback. Like when I was recording and saying what I was saying, in my mind, in my head, I was saying they are going to tear me to shreds in this comment section. But shocked to my surprise, that wasn't the case. Now I had some people that, of course, gave what I already knew they were going to say. Like I already knew how they were going to, feel about that particular time, because that for some people is a triggering discussion. But like I said, when it comes to that particular topic and, things like colorism and everything like that, for me as black people, that is a very low tier argument to me. But that's just me giving my honest, assessment. Because there's so much other stuff we got going on, and colorism is not going to be the one that's going to end what we needs to be dealt with. Salute to everybody who has just entered the chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button and hit the links as well. But I think what shocked me the most was actually seeing how many black women were agreeing with me. And that's why I had to use Kelly Rowland as the topic, or as the focal point, because she got attacked by the hive mindset. And that's why I pinned that comment there under the video. I said Kelly Rowland was attacked by the hive mindset. She gave her own assessment outside of the hive, and the hive came and stung her, so to speak. I gave my assessment, and I actually agreed, with her, and she left a very open-ended comment under his on his page. She just said, "We love you." Another one now the one that I did a couple months ago involving that girl at the mall, that one actually got a little bit more pushback than the one I just recently did about Kelly Rowland. And like that one, I knew going into doing that commentary that there was going to be some pushback, and there was, but I dealt with it, and I didn't budge either. I didn't come back and do a retraction video saying I'm sorry, I apologize if I offended anybody. I didn't even remove the video. The video was still up. It's probably still getting more comments, but I haven't checked it. I don't even get notifications for that video anymore. That's a KI702. That's a very good way of looking at it. Borg mentality. But yeah, I think everybody should have the same kind of mindset that I have. They don't have to have the exact same one, but maybe on the same, way, because whenever you have that narrow-minded thinking, that's how you're always going to think, and that could lead into emotions. And we start like talking about things out of emotions, you start to say things that don't make sense, and then you automatically think that whatever you are like emotionally wise, what you're relying heavily on emotions wise, that's what is truth, and that's not always the case, because that's just like shrouded in a bunch of opinions. That's just like with the whole R. Kelly thing. That can be a perfect example of the R. Kelly thing. You know, like we know what R. Kelly did. If they was going to get him, they would have got him years ago. But then people agreed and like was looking at that Lifetime fraudumentary, as Nicole's view called it, both of them because it was two of them, and then they went right back into that hive mindset again. And mainstream media knows what they're doing when it comes to that, but I'll discuss that later. And then when you have the mindset of coming at various things unbiased, you see everything for what it is. Even down, a good time to want to activate this equal opportunity analyst thing is right now during this political climate that we're in. This is the perfect time to want to really see and visualize and see everything for what it is. That's why I always talk about Professor Black Truth and Jason Black on my channels, especially when it comes to the political arena that we are in right now, because they break that stuff down to to its simplest form. And that actually helped me do the research that I needed to do before doing these type of videos when it comes to politics. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a heavily involved political person, but I just call out the BS as I usually do with anything else. I see it for what it is. It's unfortunate that many others don't, but hopefully they catch on and catch on quickly, more sooner rather than later, preferably before this year is up. Hell, before this weekend is up. And I think a lot of people sometimes get slightly upset when I come at certain topics that involves us, especially black women in particular. If I critique black women in a certain way, they'll take it as bashing. And you know what? I don't even know if this person is watching or not, but there's this troll, and I'm gonna say her name on here too, and I don't care, who goes by the name of Gemini Flower. Some of you may have seen her. I think her name is Gemini underscore Flower. And this individual lets her presence be known under any black male YouTuber's comment section where they are critiquing black women. And she will be quick to say that you are a woman basher. I see it all the time from this individual. Because one time they came under my channel when I was talking about something like that, when I was critiquing black women about something. They did it under Jada Black's video as well. And I think he was talking about the whole Chris Brown situation. And then me and her got into a little back and forth when under my comment that I left on his channel. And she does that all the time. August Dream, you said you've seen her before? Okay, Auntie, you've seen it. Hey, so y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. She pops up like ragweed whenever a black man in particular has a critique. What's going on, Tight End TV? Whenever a black man has a critique about black women, there she is. She always pops up. And it doesn't even have to be, it's not even bashing them. Like, some don't know the difference between a critique and bashing. Bashing means you just straight out say you hate this person with a passion. say you. I'm not gonna say it on here, but you hope that you know what. It's a three-letter words, rhymes with sky, begins with the letter D, uh, and they are the worst people on the planet. They deserve to go here, put them here, and all types of stuff. That's bashing, or saying that this other race of woman is better than this. Like, that's bashing. Critiquing means if they say that you need to improve or you need to be better for yourself and not for somebody else, or you need to take a look at yourself in the mirror and see what you're doing wrong and why you can't get the aspirations out of life that you really want, or why you can't get the man that you want. That's critiquing. But if you critique, they will take that and formulate it into something else and equate it to bashing, because it's easy for them to, it's an easier way for them to get an argument started. Yeah, Ashton, she is annoying. And I don't know if I blocked her or not, but if I see her again and I haven't blocked her, she will get blocked. Because I had some people, when it came to the whole Chris Brown thing in the lyrics, he said black bees with the nice hair. They automatically said, well, Taryn, you know what he meant. You know he meant to say good hair. Or you know he meant good hair, or he said good hair. I'm like, I'm looking at the lyrics. He said nice hair. But what gets me is y'all got more offended with the hair part than him calling you the B word. That's the part that got me the most out of it. Like, you actually think that low of yourself that you got more mad about the hair, which he said he likes black bees with nice hair. He didn't say good hair. He said nice hair. Because I made sure to read those lyrics correctly before I even said it in the video. Because they already formulated in their head what he was saying. And Kendra actually made a good point when she did her live stream, because it was pretty much a piggyback off of the video I did. She was saying the fact that they jumped out the window and got mad at that about the nice hair comment is basically trying to say that their hair that they have grown out of their head, they formulated in their mind that their hair isn't nice. Nice hair means that it's done well, it's clean, it's neat, it's done well. I even said in the video, y'all can go to any of these natural hair gurus on YouTube who do natural hairstyles, and they give you step by steps how to get your hair to look a certain way with your own hair, and those hairstyles look very nice, neat, clean. But if you tell them that, you're bashing. That's why I said, when it comes to this colorism thing, I need to see if I can contact the World Health Organization and see if I can get that put in there as a mental disorder or a mental illness. Like I said, if they can take out transgenderism and replace it with gaming, then putting colorism in there shouldn't be that hard. You know what's even crazier too? I've had black women, and I've gotten this from quite a few people, or from quite a few black women in my lifetime. They've always said, well, they said my government name, but for y'all, I'm gonna just say my YouTube name. They said, Tarian, you have some very nice eyelashes. I said, thank you. I took that as a compliment, and I always came back and said, they're mine. Now, at the time when I said that, I was saying that because I didn't want them to get the idea that I was manipulating my eyelashes to look the way that they do. But now when I look back at it, and when I said they're mine, that can also be taken as a way I could see if someone asked me today and they may have had fake eyelashes on and they said I had nice eyelashes and I came back and said they're mine, I can see how they would get offended, because then they're basically going to try to say that I'm making fun of the eyelashes that they have glued to their own. But I've always heard that women say that, why does it seem like men have nicer eyelashes. That's because you don't see men out here putting fake eyelashes over theirs. You don't see them gluing their fake eyelashes onto their eyelids and ripping their eyelashes off when they take the fake ones off. That's just like when you hear like it's one person who works with me at my job who often compliments me on how soft my hair is. Now this is a woman complimenting me, saying how soft my hair is. I said that's because I don't need to throw anything into it to manipulate my hair. All I do is I wash it, put some conditioner in it, maybe put some of that I forgot what kind of oil it's called, and that's about it. The only time my hair is dealt with in a way where it's being, dealt with is when I go see the person who puts the cornrows in my hair, and that's usually once every 2 months. And even then, it's not being manipulated. Craig J, he said juices and berries. And I'm saying to myself that if you're telling me that my eyelashes look nice and you're wearing fake ones, why don't you wear like why don't you just wear your own eyelash? If you're saying that my hair is soft, why don't you just wear your own? Because if we are say the same skin tone and we both are classified as black, and I can look at your hair and look at my hair and feel yours and feel mine, it's the same thing, and you say mine's is nice, why do you want to cover yours with not only another person's hair, but a hair texture that's not even your own? Now they do have some wigs and weaves out there that are look like natural hair, like that looks like black women's hair, like it looks like it's growing out of their scalp. Poetic Kill says they only got three eyelashes. Johnny Mills, yeah, I know Google Hangouts is going away. That's why I'm on Streamlabs now. That's exactly why I'm on Streamlabs now. But yeah, that's it because I don't have to manipulate what grows out of my head or what grows onto my face or anything, like that. Or should I say, grow from my eyelids, however you want to put it. I said if only some of our women could understand that, but you can't help everybody. And see, if I was to tell them that in a setting, some of them would say that I'm bashing. So it's like you can't win. And they really hate it if a black woman comes at it from that angle that I'm coming at with. Like if Kendra was to say the same thing that I'm saying right now, they would call her a mammy and a pick me. And anybody who knows me knows that I hate that term pick me. So you're a mammy and a pick me because a black woman actually agrees with black men on certain things when it comes to improvement. That's a bad thing to them. Because, like I said, it goes back to that hive mindset. That's what they called Kelly Rowland when she left that comment under Chris Brown's video. They called her a mammy and a pick me. They even came out and said, I can't name one Kelly Rowland song. I said, y'all know y'all lying. Y'all know y'all was, if Dilemma was to come on right now, y'all be sitting up there singing, no matter what I do, all I think about is you. Y'all know y'all be up there singing it. Talking about you can't name one Kelly Rowland song and she irrelevant. Just up there lying. Hell, some of y'all probably in the chat just started singing it when I started singing it. But yeah, being a equal opportunity analyst is so much fun because you can talk about an array of topics and come at it from various angles and still come to a solid conclusion of what's going on. That's just like that video I uploaded today of the brothers who fought that guy who killed their mother. Some people will probably look at that video and say that they were some savages. I said, not I. I said they did what they had to do. They had to handle their business. I said, I said, had I been in that position, it probably would have been a whole lot worse. But I'm glad they got their hits in. It's unfortunate that they got hit with charges, but I know why they did. It's because they had to trust and believe. If they didn't have to, I would have been one of the ones that said, if I was that judge, I would have probably tried to fight tooth and nail to try to make sure that they didn't get hit with any charges. But then that would have made them look biased. Because then that means everybody will be able to pop off in court. And there has been many instances like that where people have gone off like that in a courtroom setting because of something like that. I've actually seen worse than that. I remember seeing one a couple years ago where somebody was on trial for murder, and one of the family members picked up a chair. And anyone knows those courtroom chairs are those big wooden chairs, and them things are heavy. If you can pick one up and launch it across the room or hit somebody with it, and if it connects, that person is going to be in a world of pain. And I think that's what happened in the video that I'm thinking about. The guy picked up the chair and hit the guy. Now, mind you, the guy could not really go anywhere because he's in cuffs. So it's not like he could really move that much. So when that chair connected with him, I'm surprised he was able to pop back up. He popped up like he was a jack in a box. But I know he was probably in pain the next day. Yeah, Chaos. I'm talking about the one that jumped through, dove across the table, and then the brother came from the side. They both got their hits in from to that guy, and I'm glad that they did. Hey, that guy killed their mother, like, and that was their only opportunity to get him, like get hands on him, because they couldn't get him any other way. Because by the time they probably wanted to get him, he was probably already in custody. They always say he's talking about fighting fair, but in that case, fairness is off the table. That man was in those cuffs that connects to your hand and your feet. Hey, in my eyes, he was fair game at that point because he couldn't hit back. But you know what I think it also is? I think a lot of people want me to be very unbiased when it comes to palm colored and all their delusions, because they know that I'm going to come at it at a certain angle because they're used to me talking about it a certain way. But when it comes to us, they want me to handle it completely with kid gloves. I'm sorry, I cannot do that. I can't. Like, if I know that stuff, if something has to be called out, I'm going to call it out. Now I know some of y'all saying you probably saying, Tareen, you're saying that, but you didn't really go in so much on the Disneyland thing. Trust me, if I made a video about the Disneyland thing, I could have went in on that and not did what I had talked about, what others have done in the comment section, talking about black on black crime and this is why we need a purge and all that. I would have just said what I had to say, saying, and I even alluded to that in that video I did about the what was the title of that video? The y'all want the pat on the head so badly video. I even said it in the video there. I said it was an embarrassment. It was tacky because it was it like that's not something you see all the time. And when it comes to us, I do expect better. I did find it odd that a fight like that broke out at Disneyland in the middle of Toontown and no security came. That I do find very strange. Like, that place is heavily secured because there's a lot of kids around. But in that whole video we saw, we didn't see not one security guard come up. But that video that I posted up yesterday with those women fighting at that Chicago Cubs versus White Sox game, you had almost every security come to deal with them. And even then, it seemed like they were too much for the security to handle, because it was one part in that video where the woman was about to get her arrested, and you had the other woman, I guess, and what maybe her friend, pulled the security guard's hand away, and then they had to put her in a chokehold. And don't worry, I got another video coming up soon that's going to prove another point of mine that I've been talking about so much lately. I'm not going to tell y'all what it is, but it does deal with palm colored. And y'all probably like, well, that's not really telling them as much as anyway, because we know that. But just know it's going to be dealing with palm color and a hypocrisy that they like to peddle when it comes to us. Appreciated the objective news agency. And see, what I saw was that some people were leaving comments saying, well, this is very common of white people to do at these sporting events and get drunk and get into fights and stuff like that. But it's not common something like this happens at Disneyland. I said, there y'all go again. Y'all giving them cover and y'all don't even realize it. Or you had people saying, well, these were women fighting other women. It wasn't men fighting other women. Well, shout out to Seiji Hito because he actually did a video today. He did a video today called Tyrion Rain Reloaded is right. Where he showed, I think, 3 or 4 different videos. One of them being the one that I talked about. The other being another time there was a fight between, I think, 2 men at a baseball game. But one of them he showed, and it was one that one of my subscribers had told me about, where you had these white families get in a fight at a little league baseball game. Now, mind you, this is a little league baseball game with kids, and you had the two fathers going at it. Then I think one of the mothers tried to break it up or tried to jump into it, and they pushed the mother and hit the mother and everything like that. I said, it's amazing. They're doing the same exact thing. It just may not be on a bigger scale as Disneyland, but it was at a kids event. The only reason I saw that Disneyland video is because it was everywhere. It was hard for you not to see it. Like, it got plastered everywhere. It was like people said it was on the cup on Fox News. It was on Yahoo. It was on CNN. On your local stations. Like, you could not escape it. It was everywhere. But when I made the video about what happened at that game with those women fighting in the stands, I had so many people in the comments saying, this is my first time seeing this video. I hope it goes viral. Help us let it go viral. And when I looked under the shares for that video, it got a lot of shares. Like, a lot of people stuck by their word and actually shared that commentary. Now, like I said, I don't agree with the person in which I was able to retrieve the video from, the person who posted it. But when I looked at it, it said it was posted 4 days ago. So I recorded it yesterday, which was Friday, because it was Friday morning when I recorded and I uploaded the same day. That video from Disneyland happened before that, just a couple days before that. That Disneyland video made its rounds, but that particular video did not. And you know what's also so crazy too? And this is going to be the bomb drop, and I hope y'all are ready for this one. It's crazy how you have some of our own who love to critique, not even critique, go way beyond the critique point when it comes to talking about us, but how much you want to bet not one of them had anything to say about what happened in Charlottesville 2 years ago. You'll have them saying, oh, that's just white people being white people. Yeah, we know that is, but you can still talk about it. After all, a guy did drive 8.5 hours from Ohio to Charlottesville, Virginia, and use his car as a weapon, where he plowed through them like a wrecking ball, injuring many and killing one. Oh, appreciate the Cash App, Shadow Do87. But guess who did talk about it? Yours truly. Not to toot my own horn, but I did. And I stayed on top of it too, even after what happened. Yeah, Dark Meteor, right? The woman who was killed, her name was Heather Heyer. Because you know the guy who killed her, he just got sentenced to life in prison. No problem, Great Black Shark. But I bet you, like I said, many of them probably did not talk about it. And trust me, that whole thing with Charlottesville, they could not run away from that whatsoever. It would have been hard for them to try to get away from that because it was too out there. That's when 45 got on code, and when they was asking him those questions about, do you think that people who identify as like white supremacists or people of that ilk, should they be identified as extreme terrorists or something like that? And then he came back and said, well, there's bad on both sides. That was his response. It was a very low ball, soft response because he could not say what it really was. He could not call what happened in Charlottesville that day what it truly was. Right, Poetic Kills. He didn't answer the question. He gave a very PC response because he knows what would have happened if he gave the response that he should have gave. He would have upset his base. But they were quick to put something called black identity extremists in, be founded by the FBI. But I forgot what the lady's name was who broke that guy down like a fraction when it came to that BIE nonsense and had him stumbling and mumbling over his own words. Forgot her name. You right, August Dream. She said Trump defended his own, but Obama called people in Baltimore thugs. And that's another topic that some people have a hard time having to discuss or see it for what it is, and that is 44. I said, I've come to the realization that it's not 45 that gave us our wake up call. I thought that's what it was, but it wasn't. It was indeed actually 44 that gave us our wake up call, or at least it should have been. But I see it for what it is now. After watching so many commentaries and reading various things, and the nail in the coffin for me was back in 2016 when he endorsed Hillary Clinton and said that in order to continue his legacy, we have to vote for Hillary Clinton or make sure that she gets elected. Do y'all remember when he said that? That is when I realized what it was, and that was the first time I ever did a video where I spoke ill of Barack Hussein Obama. But yeah, like I said, I think he was the one that truly was the wake us up or was supposed to wake us up. but a lot of people aren't going to want to discuss that. I'm not even going to lie. When Harvey Superboy used to talk about Barack Obama in a certain way, it took a little while for me to like get on board with what he was talking about. But then I had to understand too that he is from Chicago, so he knew kind of firsthand how he was out, outside of people that were not from that area or maybe of a certain age. But now more than ever, I see exactly what he means. I'm not even gonna lie. When he won his first election back in 2008, I was 19. I was a sophomore in college. I had just started my first semester as a I was well, actually it was towards the end of my first semester as a sophomore in college back in '08. I was 19. And when he won and going to an HBCU, that was a big deal. I remember it like it was yesterday. As a matter of fact, if I had my old channel, my original channel, y'all would have been able to see that video that I had recorded when me and my other classmates were going crazy the night that he won. And I probably would have re-uploaded it as like a throwback. Well, maybe not because y'all probably wouldn't have wanted to see that, but I probably would have just like let y'all see what that reaction was like. He had us all fooled though. But that did not change the mindset of but you know what? The wake up call came in more than one way when you think about it. The wake up call came at for us for him because of what he did not do specifically for us and how palm colored literally felt towards black people. That's when their Jim Crow line of thinking started to come rising back to the surface. Like they were really on the rise. Now they are completely out in the open. Like they are completely emboldened because of 45. So 44 served two purposes as far as we are concerned. It allowed us to see that not everyone's going to be for us, even if they look like us, or well, not or but and it showed palm colored literally getting back to their old ways that they tried so hard for years to keep suppressed. Because under his second term, we know what happened in uh, 2012. That was the year that Trayvon Martin was murdered, and that's when everything really, really reignited itself. Was from that particular incident, which too happened under 44's watch. I would almost need an entire Rolodex to see how many black people were killed unjustly under 44's watch, especially under that second term in particular. But you know what it really is, though? A lot of people think that the wake up call for us is under 45, when in actuality, like I said, for us it was 44. The wake up call under 45 is everyone else. If you really think about it, the wake up call under 45 is more so for everybody else. Think about it. Think about what's about to happen. 45, if y'all don't know, is about to do ice raids tomorrow. I don't know if y'all heard about that. 45 is about to do ice raids tomorrow. And I think it's happening in 9 cities. So these immigrants are about to really feel it. And I do have some more immigrant style videos coming. Like I said, I have so many videos that I gotta upload that's coming soon. Also, white people are feeling it. Palm colors feeling it. This opioid plague is happening under It started at the end of Obama's last term and is carried over into 45's first term. And it's still here. And he's not declaring it a state of emergency because he knows if he does, that's more money they got to funnel into that thing to try to get something done. And he ain't, and for him, that's low priority. And the thing is, most of the people that voted for him are the ones who are affected by that plague. And to that, I say, I feel nothing. Lord Maul, you say Obama is also against reparations. Well, I could understand why. He's not 80 or West. His mother is white. His dad is Kenyan. He's not 80 or West. The anything that had to come from he would most likely would have to come from his mother's side, because Mitch the bitch McConnell had to come out and say something out of his. Speaking of Mitch McConnell, doesn't he look like Slappy from Goosebumps? Anybody in here used to watch Goosebumps? He looked like Slappy the ventriloquist doll. He looks exactly like Slappy. Like if Slappy was able to age, that's exactly what he looked like. I always say he looked like a ventriloquist doll, but I couldn't pinpoint which doll it was. That's exactly what he looks like now that I think about it. But yeah, even Mitch McConnell had to throw it out there. But we know why Mitch McConnell did that. He did that because he tried to take the heat off of himself, but that still doesn't negate the fact that your two great grandpappies owned 14 slaves, and but two of them were women. So we already know what that was about. But yeah, it's just interesting times that we are living in. I've always told people 2020 is going to be an interesting year, especially right around November. Just y'all wait and see. Oh, trust and believe, Sean from the side. I'm not voting for either one of them either. But they'll be upset if they say you don't. Because let me tell you something. I've had told people that I will not be participating in this sham of an election if this is what they gonna give us. And you know what people said? Oh, so that means you voting for Trump. I said, did you not just hear what I just said? I said I will not participate in this sham of an election if they are not adhering to our demands. Where in that did you hear me say I was voting for Trump? But that's what they be thinking. I've had that said to me plenty of times. And whether it was videos that I did, like when I talked about that, what was that one? The one where I talked about that video where I hashtag cut the check. I had someone say that to me. When I say I'm not participating, that means I'm not going to vote for anyone. And then, because they want you to emotionally vote, they be like, "Oh, come on, man, can you just go vote? We need to get Trump out of office." Don't be crying and you grown and you crying and you whining and you begging another grown person to go and do that. That annoys me. Money promo, you said, do I see the dislike ratios in the Kamala here? I can just about bet guess how low those votes are, or how low what the dislike ratio is for that. Nobody likes her. Me and one of my gym partners that I go to the gym with, whenever we talk about politics and her name come up, she always gives a stank face because she doesn't like her. Nobody likes her. The four people the four top Democratic people that they got right now is Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, and I guess Elizabeth Warren. And all four of them are phony. They are faker than a $3 bill and a Monopoly board game set. And I can always go back to that point when they was asking her about reparations and her specifically doing something for black people and how she said no, like that, like when she said no, like that. That was all I needed to see. That was all. This is the same woman that just discovered her blackness, quote unquote, this year. And how old is Kamala Harris? Even her own dad doesn't like her. Now you know if your dad don't like you, if your dad, the guy who planted the seed in your mother to have you be brought into this world, does not like you, then that's a problem. And he has justifiable reason as to why he doesn't like her. I'm sure he loves her because that's his daughter, but he doesn't like he doesn't like her policies. You said 56. Okay. Oh, so okay, which is it, 56 or 60? I'm gonna say that she's probably in her 50s. And you know what's so crazy? They always keep trying to say or put words in our mouth and say the reason we don't like her is because she's with a white guy or with a white man. No, that's not the reason. It's because of her policies. People know what she has done in her position. People who know what she's done to get that position too. So we'll just say that, you know, Kamala Harris is in her 50s. Let's just put it that way. Yep. Okay, so she's 56. Okay. But yeah, like I said, it has nothing to do with her, the fact that she's married to a white guy. That's what they would want the people to believe. But that's not even remotely the case as to why. It's because of her policies and what it has done to black people, especially black men. That's why I said black women don't fall for that crap. Because that's exactly how or what she's going to who she's going to cater to. CNN be putting this stuff in people's heads and telling them to go out there and go vote for this person and vote for that person, and the black woman is the foundational base of the Democratic Party. I said, okay, we'll see. But if y'all see what they doing for these illegal immigrants now, you will see that you are no longer that foundational base like you used to be. Or maybe you are and they using you as a backup. Oh yes, Lord Maul. When Professor Black Truth goes in on Kamala Harris, it is so funny, but it's so truthful. Like everything he says about her. But I don't know if y'all saw the stream that Jason Black did when he talked about Kamala Harris and towards the end of the and towards the end of the stream. He he was so petty when he because it was a screenshot and he had zoomed in on her picture and he said, I just have one thing to ask. What is up with her eyelashes? I don't know if y'all saw that, but that was so funny. He said, what is up with her eyelashes? Like, why do her eyelashes look like that? Because she had them thick fake eyelashes on. That looked like she got it from a low end beauty supply store. When he said that, I laughed so hard. That was too funny. Oh yeah, Stephanie. Oh listen, whenever anybody gets a chance to go in on Roland Martin, and that could be just about anybody, That's always funny. When he went on Roland Martin, first off, Roland Martin knows he is dead wrong for sitting up on his platform wearing those shorts, exposing his legs like that. I said, I don't know one person in the world with that much zest as Roly Poly. He always talks like he's sassy. Like he just be he's a glutton for punishment. Like he's up there sitting with I think his fraternity shirt on and some I guess some basketball shorts. And I don't know, did he have some house shoes on? While the other two people on the panel were dressed professional. That's how you know you've hit rock bottom. Like how are you supposed to take anybody serious like that? Oh, you said they were Crocs. Those are even worse. I hate them daggone Crocs shoes. I don't like them when women wear it, and I don't like when men wear them. Those are some ugly shoes. I don't even like them when kids wear them. Like those are just, but that's just me. That's just me. All right, y'all. I put the number in the chat in case y'all want to call in and give your assessment on what we have discussed today. Remember, I am only answering calls from people who have a number displayed. If it comes up unknown, I'm going to automatically assume you are a troll and I'm not going to answer you. I'll just hang up. Hey, Richard, I wouldn't be surprised. What's going on, Melanated Magic TV? Hey, Gwendolyn, they may be good for your feet, but I think just me that Crocs are an ugly shoe. Now, if I had to wear a pair of Crocs for medical purposes, then hey, then that's the only time I will wear them. But would I willingly go out and buy a pair to go and wear out in public? No. Hell, I wouldn't even buy a pair of Crocs for somebody as a gift. I'm like, if you want a pair of Crocs, well, first off, is there anything else that you want? Oh yeah, Sean from the Shy. That's another one right there that like gets on my nerves too. That Jason Fatlock. Like I'm like, do you know how annoying you are? I don't think he does. Like I said, the number is in the chat if you would like to call. I'm only answering numbers that have an area code. Money Prometheus said Rolly dresses like that dude who don't do his laundry until they down to their last outfit. Wow. That now that you put it like that, yeah. He did look like he was down to his last little fit. All right, I have a 404 area code. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Dwayne, this Sean Lewis from Atlanta.
Oh, what's going
Giving
on?
you again. Not much. Wow. Everything what you were just talking about in the topic, you know, some stuff I do agree with it, and so actually talking about Roland Martin right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw what he was wearing. I'm like, this fool will be wearing the craziest stuff I've ever seen before. I mean, I remember him wearing stuff like that even back when he has TV1 program.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And just the way he is when he talks down to other black folks, calling them stupid and everything.
Yes. I'm glad you said
Whenever
that.
those were,
I'm so glad you said
mm-hmm,
that because he does like he comes off like he like the typical uppity Negro, and he's literally nesting in that and has no shame because he wasn't it doesn't it just recently when he said when he called ADOS in particular when it came to voting, he said those MFers.
yeah, yeah, he did say that. I think I heard about that when he said that. Yeah, he's against the U.S. like everybody else is, unfortunately.
Like
Because
he
Freaking Machine mentioned about him a bunch of times.
he's like
He
one of
even
the
said,
no, what were you saying?
"Oh, go ahead,
No,
finish,
he's like
finish what
one
you're
of
gonna
those
say."
people. Like, he's one of those guys that literally fell down tiers, like on level, like tier levels from grace. Like this guy started out at CNN. We felt bad
Mm-hmm.
for him because the comment that he made, we don't feel he should have got fired for it. Then he came over to
Right.
CNN. I'm not CNN to TV1, and they gave him his own show. And then people
Yeah.
got tired of him mainly because of that Cancer Phillips chick, who I hope stays
Yeah.
who I hope stays in obscurity for as long as possible. And now he's down even
So
now.
she does get cancer.
And now he's down to a lower level being on YouTube and doing his show via YouTube. And I know, and
Mm-hmm.
I just got the biggest feeling that Roland Martin purchased his subscribers because I kid you not, one time he was having a live stream and
Mm-hmm.
I think like at the time he had over 200,000 subscribers. And when I looked at his
Mm-hmm.
live stream, like his live count, he only had he had less than 20 people watching. Now,
Mm-hmm.
how do you have over 200,000 subscribers and you can't even crack even 100 people watching? And people like Jason Black and Tariq who just barely has over 100,000 and Jason Black who has less than 100,000 can each crack on average about 3,000 per live stream.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He can't even do that. And with him having that many subscribers, he should be able to crack that in no time.
Well, that's the point because nobody's watching his ass. So that's the reason why he's not having that much subscribers as anybody else is on YouTube.
Right.
Because I know nobody's looking at him. I'm not looking at him. And I used to look at him a long time ago, but ever since he's been
Mm,
bug dancing and stuff, I
yes.
stopped looking at him.
Yo, when Tariq did that video with him with him and Hillary Clinton
Yeah.
dancing and he made that
Uh huh.
song, I swear that was the
Yeah,
funniest
with the
thing
video
ever.
and everything.
I swear that was the funniest thing ever for like a good month. Like
Yeah.
I could like I'm thinking about it right now to the point where I might actually go look it up just to get a good laugh after I end my stream.
Oh, I look at that sometimes whenever I want to have a good laugh or something. I
Yes.
just look at that video where Trick and Shoot, puts the whole I dance, I dance, I dance, I dance, I dance, I dance, I dance.
I said you win troll of the year for that one. That was a good one. That was real
Yeah.
creative. That was real funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But whenever Roll Martin's gonna get his own wake up call soon, he's
Hmm.
gonna get it.
Oh yeah, most definitely, and it's gonna be well worth it. And you already know what I'm
Oh yeah.
planning on doing.
Oh, I You can feel violence. I already know about it, man.
And it's gonna be well deserved. Him and a few people deserve
Right.
their wake up call as soon as possible.
Yep.
But I
Exactly.
just but I look at Roland Martin as a drama queen.
Oh yeah.
Like
He's
he loves to start and
he's a
insert
nobody.
himself into some drama.
Right. Just like back when on this program, you know how he was like going off on Umar Johnson. Remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he had listen, he had all that fire and all that vitriol
Mm-hmm.
for Umar Johnson, but was
Mm-hmm.
as quiet as a church mouse when it came to Richard
Well, as a
Spencer.
church mouse for Richard Spencer, yeah. Exactly.
We will
Same
never
thing,
let him
Richard
live that
Spencer.
down.
Oh, I've never forgotten that whatsoever. He gave him a platform to say what he wants to say. Oh, he was fine with that.
Right.
When it
And the
came to
thing is
Umar
he should have
Johnson.
and the way he went off and his panel went off on Umar Johnson is the same way he
Yeah.
could have and should have went at Richard Spencer.
Right.
If not even more.
Exactly.
And the thing is, I think Richard Spencer, and the thing is, Richard Spencer wasn't even trolling him. Like he was just being, like he was being real calm. Like
Oh, he was just being
he
calm.
was probably shocked that Roland Martin didn't come at him
No.
as heavy as he thought he would. I was like,
Well,
really,
you know what's
Roland, you
interesting
really
about
letting
Richard
this man
Spencer?
off the hook right now?
Yeah, but you know what's interesting about Richard Spencer? Even though he's a white supremacist, at
Hmm.
least he's being honest as a
Right.
white supremacist.
That's why I say I like my races out in the open and honest, and he's as honest as they come. He's actually one of the few racist white supremacists that actually
Yep.
keeps it real. The rest of them, they be trying to dance around stuff, or they'll try to lie and all type. No, he actually keeps
Yep.
it real. That's which is probably why some of them don't even like him. He's what you call the
Exactly.
on code, off code white supremacist.
Right. And that's what's so interesting about them when he keeps saying that it's only racism down south. No,
Oh
racism
nah,
is everywhere in the United States.
most
It's
definitely.
just the difference is it's more covert up north, but down south it's out in the open,
Right.
like it's always been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you know, nobody's checking for a roly poly's ass.
Yeah, he's a sad case.
Yeah, and I like how it's very, when he makes fun of it, he does the whole Porky Pig way, how he talks and he
Oh,
stutters. Beep
yes.
beep 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 beep.
He does sound like Porky Pig when he gets upset.
Yeah. When he stutters, when he talks.
That's why I said no man should have all that zest.
Yeah. And he be wearing that pink stuff shit too. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, bro?
Right. And always wearing that ascot.
Right, all his ascot and everything. I was like, when he was doing all that, I'm like, I'm done with this fool. I really am. I can't take him seriously anymore.
Nobody can.
Right.
All right, but I appreciate you calling.
Yeah, no problem, Ray.
All right. But yeah, that Roland Martin is something else, and it's crazy because it was at one point when he was on CNN when people actually could tolerate him, and then when he went to TV1, he started to change up a little bit. Not at first, but we know what he was trying to do. We know he was trying to get a position back over at CNN, but he should know by now that definitely ain't happening. He can't even he's not even in a position to be a contributor to CNN anymore. Like how they'll call some people in to give their commentary on something like as a special guest. They don't even call him for that. Of course, a rap god. Of course, he wouldn't defend ADOS because he's not ADOS. I already did a whole live stream talking about the ones who look like us but they ain't us. He's one of them. I don't know if CNN banned him. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. If they did, because they got really a quote unquote offended by something that they took and blew way out of proportion. I posted the number back into the chat in case anybody else wanted to call in. I know I got 45 people watching now. That's what it says. So if he knew he got banned from CNN, suspended from CNN, I don't know why he was trying to campaign to get a job back over there. Like, why would you go back to a place that did you dirty? Because let's be real here. CNN did do him dirty. I wouldn't want to go back there. I would be trying to move on and create my own lane. And that's what TV1 was trying to do for him, but he kept bringing the wrong element onto his show. And that wasn't good for, for ratings. And I knew that he was getting ready to be off the air because it's one thing that lets me know when someone's getting ready to be off the air. When they start changing time slots. Because I think when he first came on to TV1, he was in like one of those prime morning spots, like that regulated morning spot. But when they started moving his time slot up an hour to the point where some people would probably be on their way to work or gone completely or not up at all, then that's when I knew that he was on his way out. When they start switching time slots like that, that means that they're getting ready to cancel you. Great Black Star, you said I'm gonna keep it real with you. CNN Caucasian Nazi Network ban rolling because they have a strict no neck, no entry policy. I'm just saying. Well, so that will explain why he always wears those ascots to cover up his lack of a neck. See, look, Great Black Shark, we figured out the mystery. That's why he wears the ascot, because he's covering up the fact that he ain't got no neck. He just head, shoulders, knees, and toes. And I just realized you called him Rolade and not Roland. Lord Martin said he ran TV1 into the ground. He could have really did something with his little news segment. Or like Harvey said, what they should have did was have more than one news segment on there besides him just being the only one. But he was the only one over there that had a news show or news style show. That's why I miss the old BET, like the old BET before Viacom got a hold of it, because they had various different programming on there besides just music videos all day. Especially like in the late 90s and early 2000s, like you had like BET Nightly News, you had Teen Summit, of course you had 106 in Park. So they had a little bit of everything for everyone. But he was the only one at TV1 that had a news show. So we only had his stuff to go off of as far as if we didn't want to watch. Like his show was supposed to be the competition to a CNN. That's I think what they were trying to compete with. But let's be real here. CNN will always be more known, well known than TV1, because TV1 is more younger. CNN's been around since what, the 80s, and TV1's only been around for like less than 20 years maybe. The only time I really watch TV1 is when the Image Awards come on, and that's a once a year deal thing for me. That's really the only time I ever really pay attention to TV1 like that. All right, y'all. I think I'm about to get off here. I had put the number in there a couple times, but nobody else I think is calling in. So I only got one call in today, but that's okay. At least I had somebody who called in and wanted to weigh in on the topic. I don't know when I'll be going live again, but I'm sure whenever I'm feeling inspired, I will be doing so. Of course, you know there will be more video commentaries to come. Make sure to stay tuned for the 9 o'clock upload, which is going to be a very positive topic, to be honest. It's not a bad topic or one that's a controversial one, but it's actually going to be a very good topic. And I'm actually glad that the person who sent me the story actually did send it to me. And I actually meant to upload that particular video a couple of days ago, but I missed it in the midst of me uploading other videos. I could have uploaded that video last week, but it'll be uploaded tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Rap God said, on your next live stream, can I talk about Cardi B throwing Jermaine Dupri under the bus on the female rap culture? I might be able to talk about that because I wasn't even going to do that as a video topic. So I might be able to talk about that. I have to keep that in mind though. I think that would be a good topic of discussion to speak on and weigh in on. But other than that, shout out to the Objective News Agency, and it was somebody else who sent me a donation as well. Let me see if I can find it because they sent me a Cash App. And John B. I know that's not their that's not their username, but that's the name that showed up in the Cash App. Shout out to those two for the donations, and shout out to everybody else who tuned in. I will definitely be doing another one, and since Rap God actually gave me that topic, I might actually do that. It won't be like tomorrow or anything like that. It'll probably be sometime in the week to come. It might be two. Let me see. It might be Tuesday. Maybe Tuesday. I'll do it. But other than that, y'all have a good rest of your Saturday or a good rest of your weekend. Make sure to stay tuned for the next uploads. Like I know you will have your notifications on. I think for the most part the notifications are working, and I can tell by the way the view counts have been looking lately. So I think that's not an issue for now because you never know, they might switch some stuff up on you. With that being said, I will talk to you in the next one.